Hello, BookTube. Many times in many parts of the world's oceans, I have seen adult great white sharks up at the surface. And the thing that always strikes you after you get over the initial galvanic shock of, oh my God, that's a great white shark, the thing that always strikes you isn't their size, it's their girth. Yes, they're big. Yes, they're 15 feet long. And yes, they give the impression of having been designed as a weapon of war. But they're also really big. They're broad across the back. They're deep down below. Uh, it adds an extra element of horror. But that same element can be part of joy. And I felt that today. I thought of that today because girth is the first word that came to mind with today's mail haul. It's tiny. It's only 2 books. That ought to disappoint. But both the packages are enormous, so I'm hoping for the best. So let's start with this one. Oh, it's huge. What can this be? Oh, fantastic. Oh, this is Jeffrey Stewart's The New Negro, a gigantic, long overdue biography of Alan Locke. Uh, I almost said Alan Scott because I've got comic books on the mind, and you all know who Alan Scott is in the comics, I assume. But no, this is the unspoken and largely unknown grandfather of the Harlem Renaissance, and for him to have, I mean, we're running out of time for the most industrious biographer in the world to start getting as many first-hand oral accounts as possible as are left. We're running out of time to do that, and the documentary evidence, the records that you would need to consult, scattered all over the place. Most of them in cardboard boxes. That it's this is a great project that's been awaiting a long time to happen, and this comes out next year. This comes out in February. Uh, Let me see here. In The New Negro, Jeffrey Stewart offers the definitive biography of the father of the Harlem Renaissance based on the extant primary sources of his life and on interviews with those who knew him personally. He narrates the education of Locke, including his becoming the first African-American Rhodes Scholar and earning a PhD in philosophy at Harvard University, and his long career as a professor at Howard University. Locke also received a cosmopolitan aesthetic education through his travels in continental Europe, where he came to appreciate the beauty of art and experienced a freedom unknown to him in the United States. And yet he became more closely associated with the flowering of black culture in the Jazz Age America and his promotion of the literary and artistic work of African Americans as the quintessential creations of American modernism. In the process, he looked to Africa to find the proud and beautiful roots of the race. Shifting the discussion of race from politics and economics to the arts, he helped establish the idea that black urban communities could be crucibles of creativity. Stewart explores both Locke's professional and private life, including his relationships with his mother, his friends, and his white patrons, as well as his lifelong search for love as a gay man. Stewart's thought-provoking biography recreates the worlds of the illustrious, enigmatic man who, in promoting the cultural heritage of black people, became, in the process, a new Negro himself. And the author is a professor of black studies at the University of California in Santa Barbara. And I think this is going to be huge. I mean, it is huge, but I think it's going to be widely reviewed, and that I'm going to do my best to bring that about, and it's well deserved. This advanced copy only has a little artwork, only a little bit of, it looks like only a few black and white inserts, but that's all right. I bet the finished copy will have plenty. And this, oh, this is exciting. All right, so this goes to the front of the list as far as reading goes, and then we'll move on to the next one. The only other one here today is a box. What? What can this be? So this mail haul will be short, but that's okay. If the second one is as good as the first one, I'm okay with that. What have we got here? Oh, fantastic. I didn't think I was going to get this. Oh, my. Oh, wow. And the 2 books are connected in a very uncomfortable way. This is the finished copy of David Allen Richards' Skull and Keys. Also an enormous book about the hidden history of Yale's secret societies. I saw the paperback galley of this in a couple of different newspaper book rooms, and I kept thinking, why aren't you sending it to me? Why don't I have it? Because Pegasus Books and I get along really well. But I'd rather have the finished copy, even though it's enormous. That's fantastic. The only thing is, because I didn't get the galley, I now need to read this right away, because it's coming up, isn't it? Yes, it's coming up on early September, September 5th. Let's see here. Secret societies have fundamentally shaped America's culture and political landscape in ways that are expected but never explicit. The bonds made through the most elite of social societies have won members Pulitzer Prizes, governorships, and even presidencies. And that sounds like hyperbole, but there's a lot to substantiate that. At the apex of these institutions stands Yale University and its rumored 26 secret societies, tracing stories that have intrigued and enthralled for centuries, alluring the attention of such luminaries as Ernest Hemingway, William Faulkner, and F. Scott Fitzgerald, and let's not leave out John O'Hara, who was utterly fascinated by the same subject, and John Cheever. David Allen Richards' Skull and Keys is the definitive and scholarly reveal of the mysterious, highly influential hidden world of Yale's secret societies. It traces the history of Yale societies as they set the foundation for America's future secret clubs and help define the modern age of politics. Wow. And it turns out that he is also a member of Skull and Bones, which is probably the most well-known and infamous of all those clubs. Huh. He takes us through the history from Phi Beta Kappa in the American Revolution through Skull and Bones and its rivals in the 19th and 20th century. But I wonder how much people will tell him. I wonder how much... I mean, unless he's a defrocked member, he can't possibly reveal everything that he knows. That makes it all the more fascinating that he knows it from the inside out. Wow, fantastic. So he is... he's the author of a biography of Rudyard Kipling. I think I read that. Is that the one with the dirty maroon cover? I think I read it. I'll have to check. Oh, okay. He's written a couple of books on Rudyard Kipling. Huh. He's a senior counsel with Steptoe and Johnson LLP and is a longtime officer of New York City's Grolier Club. He's on the legal committee of the Yale Club of New York City and lives in Stamford, Connecticut. Okay, so he's about as well placed to write a book like this as anybody would be. Okay, great, fantastic. So Skull and Keys, about Yale's secret societies. And The New Negro by Jeffrey Stewart about Alan Locke. Fantastic. Oh, my. All right, so that's a big, fat mail haul, even though it's not very numerous. I don't know, this being a Saturday, I don't know if I'll get any other mail, but I have plenty. If I stand along with my plan of making 2 discrete columns of these, this will just about do it before they'll collapse on the floor and kill my darling dog. so I'm gonna actually hope that this is it for the mail today. But either way, I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.